And we are back on the WHHI-TV Daily News. With me are Amy and Carson Flanagan, and we are here to talk about something that I knew nothing about until I knew I was doing this interview, and that's Marfan Syndrome. And it's obviously something that is not talked about a lot, but you're trying to bring some awareness to it. And so, Amy, tell us a little bit about your journey so far, because I think getting Carson diagnosed was kind of a battle.
It was. So thankfully he was diagnosed at 5 years old. A lot of kids don't know that they, or adults for that matter, don't know that they have this syndrome until they're maybe getting a physical for athletics or having heart issues as they're older, right. Things like that. And it was kind of interesting. We were at an allergist, and it was a learning hospital, so there were several residents in the room, and she kind of told us he doesn't have asthma, but he has Marfan. And she started, taking measurements of his wingspan. She was talking about his pectus excavatum, just some of the symptoms that he had presented at that time. And basically told us to return for an echo, and we would go from there. So it was a pretty eventful visit.
Yeah, I would say so. And so you really thought some of these symptoms were pointing towards allergies, and then it turned out to be the syndrome.
Well, actually, the symptoms, we had never heard of Marfan.
Right.
And I actually almost canceled the allergy appointment because I wasn't sure that they could even tell if he had asthma or not. And so she was actually not a Marfan doctor, but she just had the knowledge, I guess.
Which is great. So tell us a little bit about, our time's already flying, and I want to make sure we get to everything, but give us a little bit about what Marfan actually is.
It's a connective tissue disorder that affects 1 in 5,000 people. So it's rare, but not so rare.
Yeah.
Carson's is spontaneous, meaning that no one else in the family has it.
Interesting.
And that's a 1 in 10,000 chance.
Wow. So you are rare.
Yes. So, and there's a 50% chance of that passing along to his family when that time comes. And it's a gene mutation of the fibrillin 1 gene, and it's very diverse, they've discovered. When he was diagnosed, you needed 5 clinical symptoms. 5 symptoms to be clinically diagnosed.
Okay.
Now they've discovered it's just so diverse. Every mutation is different. Every child is affected differently, and adult. So now that's not the case.
Well, Carson, tell us a little bit about how you manage it. You've had it since you were 5, so I think that's interesting. You've really grown up with it. Tell us a little bit about how it does present for you and how you're managing it in your lifestyle now.
Sure. So I've been on medication ever since I was 5 years old. Regular doctor appointments once a year, just kind of checking up on things. Marfan's very diverse, as my mom's kind of led to. Right. I thankfully have been able to play pretty much every sport other than football since growing up. Just kind of, like I said, taking it year by year to see if basketball's still an option for me. I had pectus excavatum develop when I was very young and had the surgery going into my sophomore year of high school.
What does that mean for those of us who don't know what pectus?
Pectus excavatum is when your chest wall sinks in.
Okay.
So his was pretty severe. So he just finished, he just wrapped up a surgery called the Nest procedure, where they put titanium bars in your chest to bring the sternum up.
Okay.
And they remain for 3 years, and then they're removed.
Excellent. Well, we only have like 20 seconds left, and so obviously that's not long enough, so you're probably going to have to come back and advocate some more. But tell us about the support that you've gotten from the Marfan Foundation.
It's been fantastic. Just recently we were at the conference up in New York, accepting an award for just kind of showing our sport on our end and kind of sharing a little bit of our story. And they've meant the world to me, and I've met so many great people through the foundation.
Well, that's awesome, and congratulations on receiving an award. That's fantastic for both of you.
you.
But thank you for being here to bring awareness to this, and we'll have to have you back as we go through this journey, and so we can learn a little bit more.
All right,
Absolutely.
thank you.
Thank you. And we'll be back in a moment, so don't go away.